night, the witching hour, where all manner of supernatural entities roam the earth, such as ghouls, ghosts, werewolves, and most importantly for today, vampires. It is the hour in which we are closest to the realm of magic, monsters, and evil. My buns, this is the hour in which I am recording this episode of Bun Plays. For in this time, we are linked to the monsters that dwell in the world beyond. Also, it's easier to prove that Phil is a vampire this way, and I just really want to prove that he's a vampire. Hello everybody, I'm Zenith Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns, and welcome back to Bun Plays, where I continue to add numerous different games into the haunted gaming library, and where my lovely cat Kana wants to be a creature of the night. She is my little minion. She wants to join us in this journey. She's very loud. I do apologize. She may ruin the atmosphere, but she means well. In any case, my buns, today we are talking about a game that Phil has been wanting me to play for a very long time. Now, granted, it's not as long as Fate's Day Night, which he wants me to talk about in the future. Really loves Fate, wants me to talk about Fate. We actually sat down and watched Fate 2006, the DOOMSDAY night, and I enjoyed it pretty well. But what she really has wanted me to talk about and experience is this game by Type Moon called Tsukihime, which I know nothing about. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what I'm in for here, because aside from small details, I know character names, I know that there's a character named Arcueid, CL, stuff like that, because Phil keeps talking about it nonstop. I know that there's vampires, and that's one of the major reasons I really wanted to pick up the game, because back in the day, when I first heard about this game, vampires were actually pretty novel to me. And I think, vampires are a little bit overblown in today's world. There's a little bit too much vampire media. You know, they sparkle, they glow, they do a lot of different things. But these vampires that I'm staring at right now, I think they're pretty good. So I'm very intrigued to see what this is all about. I know that there's, much like the Taiga Sensei, Tiger Jojo in Fate's Day Night, there is a Teach Me CL Sensei portion, and there's apparently this thing called the Neko arc, where everything is a certified Guryu classic.
This is a certified classic.
I don't know much about this. I really don't know what I'm in for. I just know that there's vampires, and I'm very excited because I want to experience new visual novels, and aside from Danganronpa, Zero Escape, Ace Attorney, a few smaller visual novels, I haven't experienced a lot, and I want to. I've seen the anime for Steins Gate, and I really want to get into it, but I've never actually played the visual novel. Same thing with When They Cry, Higurashi, I haven't played the visual novel. And so I guess I'm the visual novel VTuber, because that's what a lot of my stuff is about. In any case, I don't know what I'm in for. I'm excited. Hopefully it's not like Hatoful Boyfriend where you're a pigeon. Maybe we'll see something different here. But vampires is all I know. Now, while this is not in the first half of the remake, what I talked about in the primer is there is a route for Shiki's sister. And I sincerely hope that you do not date Shiki's sister, because that's your sister, bro. That's your sister, and that's not cool. That's not good. Phil strongly hinted that that was a thing in the original visual novel, and I'm just like, no. So I'm gonna say, right now, PSA for anime protagonists. This is your yearly PSA. Don't date your sister. And I know this is hard because apparently there's a lot of anime protagonists and game protagonists lately that date their sister, but I'm just telling you right now, don't date your sister and don't fuck your sister. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, I know they did it in Destiny. I don't know why they did it in Destiny, but they did it. Don't fuck your sister. Just saying it.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
On a lighter note, predictions on which routes and heroines will be my favorite. So there's currently going to be 6 routes. I don't know too much about each route. I suspect that my favorites are probably going to be Arcueid, which is the vampire in the white shirt, because I just love her style. I think Arcueid is going to be my favorite, but Kohaku, her route is not like in this portion, but I feel like she might be my favorite once we actually get to her, when we get to the dark side of the moon, as I like to call it. But that's where I'm going to think. I think those are going to be my favorite. Least favorite is going to be the sister, because don't date your sister. Predictions for what the plot will be about. Given Type Moon's history, I know that they have like mystic eyes and stuff like that, and I know that Fate's Day Night is about a Holy Grail war, so I think it's going to be a vampire Holy Grail war. That's my predictions, because I don't really know. Because Arcueid is very white, my prediction is that she's a vampire ghost. Because, look, I'm a ghost, okay? I want to date her. She has to be a vampire ghost for it to work. It's gotta be like that. I predict that Shiki... is it Shiki or Shiki? Shiki. Shiki either is or will become a vampire. Ciel, I believe, is the true antagonist. She's the one with the blue hair. I think she's secretly evil. Kohaku is best girl. Worst girl is Hisui, because I can't pronounce her name properly. I think I did it right that time, but I don't know. But we're gonna get into this. So, my other prediction is that Phil is a vampire, and I know Phil is my beautiful peach tree. She's pretty nice, but you notice how she's always up at midnight. You don't get her during normal business hours. She's always midnight. And have you ever seen Phil have a reflection? Have you ever seen Phil and Garlic in the same area? Phil is a vampire.
So has anyone ever told Zen about time zones?
Also, here's my reflection, and one of my favorite things to eat is tzatziki, which has garlic in it. Try again.
Final thing before we begin is that I know this game is called A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, and I'm staring at the box right in front of me, and it has this giant moon. Thankfully, this is an actual, like, you know, a replica of a moon. But the thing is, when we actually get to the game, I can't stare at a moon for too long. I have a history, let's say, with moons. And while it does draw me in, bad things happen if I look at it for too long. Let's not get into the nitty-gritty details. You don't want to know what happens. But if I stare at a moon for more than 20 minutes, things are bound to get a little bit dicey. Let's just say that. In any case, I am Zenith Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns, and that has been our whiteboard segment of things that I know about this game, which is very little. With that being said, let us dive in to the world of Tsukihime. Or as some people say, Tsukihime. I think I nailed that.
We got the Tsukihame? I think I killed that shit. I'm not gonna lie, but we got the Tsukihame remake.
And I almost don't want to start the game because of the way, like, the beautiful music, the CG that I'm looking at, just from the title screen, like, not the title screen, like just the preview screen is so beautiful. Obviously, we're playing the PS4 version. Let us begin. She's so pretty. Don't look at the moon. Okay, good. It's gone. It's gone. The game features an autosave function. Do not turn off the power while the autosave is displayed. Okay, I won't do that. Create save data. Okay. I will say that we won't get a trophy tracking because it's a PS4 version, but it'll be nice to play it on my PS5. That way, Phil, she can't yell at me for having 2 copies of a game on PS4 and PS5. I'm just playing on the base hardware. I awake suddenly. A dark night. An empty house. The familiar scent of straw mats and paper screens hangs in the air. The sky is set neatly atop the trees like puzzle pieces. Old shadows cling to the corners of the room. In this deathly quiet, I recall the past. My dreams were filled with what-ifs. Things like, what if the sky had been cloudy? What if I had noticed just a little sooner? What if he hadn't fallen ill? What if I had never been born? And what if you hadn't woken up here? The night drowns further and further into the black. I grow more and more certain that the house is empty. Type moon. My breath forms white clouds in the freezing air. The chill of the garden pricks at my fingertips. Icy stars, deepening darkness, a cold, distant light shining down on the world from on high. The mansion's garden opens wide and ends with darkness surrounding everything. The woods loom in front of me, deep and black, like an enormous curtain, as though preparing to rise on some grand stage. I wish this was not, like, unskippable, like it just keeps going. It has no breaks. It's got no breaks. From far ahead, behind the dark curtain, comes the sound of a distant commotion. Deeper in the forest, everyone seems to be having fun. It's pitch black. The forest is thick enough that the distant light no longer shines from above. There are noises all around me. There are things all around me. In the dark, it's impossible to tell what they are. It's so dark, I can't even remember if anyone passed me on the way. I assume that this opening thing will end soon. And then I can actually, like, pay attention more. Oh! At last I pass through the veil of trees. Everyone is waiting together in the clearing. Everyone's all jumbled up. Everyone's all over the place. The ground is soaked with red. I don't understand. A stranger approaches me from across the clearing. There's a weapon in their hand. They're coming to cut me into pieces just like everybody else. I don't understand. I stare at the stranger vacantly. Helpless, all I can do is wait for the end. But at the last moment, someone leaps in front of me. And gets cut into pieces in my place. Well, fuck. She's all around me in pieces. A person called Mother. They were calling my name too, but they're quiet now. I don't understand what's going on. All I know is that it's cold. Tears well up in my eyes. I can't stand the black of the woods. Ah, the moon is so beautiful tonight. A canopy draped over the cosmos. A porcelain face unveiling the night. Falling stars, mysterious and serene. But I can't tear my eyes away from the boundless blue cloak of night. How strange. Why didn't I notice before? I can't see anything. The world begins to fade. But that cold light still shines in the darkness. Okay. Okay. People dead? Oh, don't stare too long, Zen. I didn't even notice just how beautiful the moon is tonight. Okay, thankfully I'm not looking at it too long. You don't want to see me when I look at the moon too long. And that was just the opening screen. That wasn't even like any... wow. Okay. I'm going to try not to look at the moon too much. Phil put like something over my eyes. I just want to say, like, that was intense. I was not expecting that, but damn, that was a lot. I love the look of this opening. I love, like, just everything that's involved in it so far, and I love the music. I'm going to get into different voices here. Normally I have my feminine voice, and that's something I like to utilize when I'm more happy, but this is a somber tone, and I'm going to be voicing different scenarios and reading a lot, and 20 minutes has already passed by. Thankfully, only half of that while I was staring at the moon. But, let us begin and see what vampires are planning or plotting and cutting people into pieces. This is kind of brutal. Kind of brutal. This is a work of fiction. Oh, no, duh. And any persons or groups that appear therein are entirely fictional, coincidental to actual persons. This work contains depictions of violence and scenes of a disturbing nature. We saw people cut into pieces. Public recording is forbidden without the consent of the rights holder. The use of recording or streaming is permitted with the exception of points in the story where the functions have been restricted. Well, I have a capture card, so we'll work around that. We'll work around that. All right, let us begin. I wake up to find myself in a hospital bed. There are curtains that gently sway. A chilly breeze enters through an open window. I instinctively squint at the harsh color of the room. Where am I? What day is it? Is it... Oh my god, it's Halloween, isn't it? It's gotta be Halloween. There's a lot of vampires out. Vampires. What happened to me? I can't seem to think straight. Well, don't worry about that. I can't do anything straight. I'm the lesbian ghost variety. Bi-curious, but mostly lesbians. I try to push myself up, but a sharp pain courses through my body. My breath catches in my throat, and I start gasping for air like a fish. I'm just imagining a fish like, fish? Is this what they meant by seeing stars? The moment I place my hand against the hard bed, pain erupts from the inside out again. I'll say this, Nasu knows how to write a damn novel. He is good. Until we get to people die when they are killed, but that's a different novel. That's a little bit different there. Still lying down, I take a deep breath and look over my body. Oh look, I'm a woman! Both my hands are covered in bandages. Game theory time. This is actually Shiro, but alternate timeline from Fate Stay Night. My left leg's also set in a plaster cast. I feel a tightness around my head, so it must be wrapped up too. Nope. This isn't about vampires, it's about mummies. I know it's a mummy. A large, thick adhesive strip is stuck to my chest, like it's hiding something bad. My left arm has a tube poked into it. Some part of me understand that it's an IV. I guess I must have seen all this while I was drifting in and out of sleep. Oh, there we go. Yep, get back. I became a ghost for a second. I think I was staring into space because this reminds me of my own stays in the hospital. That was my Fate Stay night in the hospital. I've back when I was alive, I had some health problems. It was not fun. The other room, dimly lit and reeking of medicine and chemicals. The array of tubes poking out from under the bandage on my chest. The scary man in the suit who came to see me. My little sister getting scolded by the man when she came to visit. And the doctor, as giddy as a child. Why was the doctor giddy? Does he like seeing people? Well, maybe he was happy that I was alive. I remember all of it like it was a dream. Nope. Second theory, this is all a dream. Wait, are you awake? I hear the voice of an unfamiliar woman. I don't have the strength to answer her. She then bursts out of the room, frantically calling for the doctor. Doctor! It turns out that Phil really is a vampire. You see, I don't see any reflection in his glass. Also, he has fangs. Pitter-patter, go her steps. She really shouldn't be running in a hospital, even if it is to get me help. Unable to lift my body, I turn my head and look up at the window. I feel a sharp pain in each of my eyes. Oh no, they stole my eyes. They stole my eyes. Damn your eyes. As if a jagged knife were poking and prodding around inside my brain. Ooh. Nasu knows how to paint a picture, I'll tell you that much. The sky outside is so blue, it looks unreal. I find my eyes flinching not from the white hot glare of the sun, but from the spotless stretch of blue. Days pass. Since waking up, I still haven't been able to move from the bed. My only view of the outside world is the same faraway sky as before. Whew, this really hits close to home for me. Gently, the curtains flap. A dry wind touches my cheek. The stainless swath of blue leaves my eyes feeling woozy. Where am I? What day is it? And who was phone? Why am I in a hospital? Gradually, the answers come to me. Except for one. I keep looking out the window. A thought just out of reach. Something important. A tearful promise I can't remember. Oh, new theory? Shiki is Roxas.
はじめまして、遠野四季君。回復おめでとう。
Hello, Mr. Shiki Tono. You seem to be recovering quite well. Words from a man I've only just met. He offers me a handshake. With his gentle smile and soft-spoken voice, he seems like a kind man. Though I get the feeling he's someone who could wipe the smile off his face at the flip of a switch. So he's the Joker? The clean white coat he wears fits him perfectly. Also, one thing I'm noticing, like, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's, like, little particles and stuff. Like, the effect work of this visual novel is really well done so far, and I'm wondering if there's something to do with all these cracks, like they put in the back of my game case.
四季君、先生の言っていることがわかるかい？
Mr. Tono, do you understand what I'm saying?
いえ。僕はどうして病院にいるんですか？
No. What am I doing in a hospital?
覚えていないんだね。君は道を歩いているとき、自動車の交通事故に巻き込まれたんだ。
I suppose you wouldn't remember. You were hit by a car while crossing the street. Truck-kun strikes again!
胸にガラスの破片が刺さってね。
Oh, piece of glass moon. I get it. A piece of glass was lodged in your chest. It's a miracle that you're even alive. The man, draped in white, smiles as he utters something a doctor probably shouldn't say. It's a miracle that you're alive. Lots of cracks. Oh yeah, that's right. Phil said something about the eyes that sees cracks everywhere. The queasy feeling I was holding back threatens to spill out after I hear those words.
眠いです。眠っていいですか？
I'm tired. Can I sleep some more?
ああ、そうしなさい。
Yes, of course.
今は無理をせず、体を休ませてあげないとね。
Get some rest and try not to overexert yourself. The doctor continues smiling. Honestly, it makes me feel uneasy.
先生、一つ聞いていいですか？
Doctor, can I ask something first?
何かな、四季君。
Of course, Mr. Tono. What is it?
どうして体中に落書きをしているんですか？
How come your body has all those scribbles?
この部屋もところどころひびだらけで、今にも崩れちゃいそうです。
The room's full of cracks, too. It looks like it could fall apart any minute. Unless this is a sequel to Doctor Who and there's, like, cracks everywhere? For a brief second, the smile vanishes from the doctor's face. Then he rises out of his seat, smile reapplied. His shoes clack against the floor as he disappears behind the curtain. And, like, the way this is presented is, like, I'm kind of blown away from a visual novel. I'm used to, like, old school standards. Heck, I'm used to PSP, PS Vita standards. This is pretty good.
やはり脳に異常があるようだ。
As suspected, there may be some issue with his cerebral faculties.
脳外科の芦谷先生に連絡を。それと、視神経にも損傷の疑いがあるな。午後は眼科検査に回すように。
Call Dr. Ashia in neurosurgery for a consult. Oh, and the boy may have damage to his optical nerves. Schedule an eye exam for the afternoon. The doctor whispers to his nurse, his voice cold and harsh, starkly different from before.
変なの。みんな体に落書きしてる。
It's so weird. They all have scribbles on them too. The frenzied lines cling to every surface of the hospital. I don't know why, but just seeing them is enough to make me feel sick.
なんだろう。
I wonder what these are. There are even scribbles on my bed. Okay, Harold and the Purple Crayon has gone too far. I'm just gonna say it right now. That movie should not have gone this hard. I touch one of them with my finger. Schwip. The finger slides in. Ah. If I had something thinner, I bet I could get it to go even further. I grab a plastic knife off a nearby tray and trace one of the scribbles with it. With no effort at all, the knife sinks down to the handle. Okay, new theory. This is the man who can operate in the space between spaces. This is a sequel to Indiana Jones. Enjoying myself, I glide the knife along the lines in the bed. Crash.
Crash.
With a heavy sound, the bed falls neatly into two pieces. Huh. I'm not going to voice a scream. I turn to the voice behind me. The shriek belongs to a nurse standing at the door, her face stiff with shock. Mr. Tono, do you want to tell me how you broke the bed? Well, you know, when the bed's a rockin', you don't come a knockin'. I notice the doctor hasn't asked me why I broke it, but how.
その線をなぞったら切れたんだよ。
I cut up the bed by following the lines. Call the cops. He's seriously crazy.
ねえ、どうしてこの病院はひびだらけなの？
How come the hospital's full of all these cracks anyway?
いい加減にしないか、指揮官。そんな線なんてないんだ。それで、どうやってベッドを壊したんだい？怒らないから教えてくれないかな。
Mr. Tono, please. There are no lines. I promise we won't be mad. Now, can you tell us how you broke the bed?
だから線をなぞっただけなんだ。
I told you already. I just followed the lines.
わかった。この話はまた明日にしよう。
I see. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. The doctor lets out a sigh. He stops smiling as soon as I mention the scribbles. I guess his switch is broken. This hospital's full of broken things. In the end, no one believed me. No matter what it is, I can cut it cleanly by slicing the lines with a knife. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. He can just cut anything in two with his eyes of... What were they called? The eyes of death perception? He's a Shikigami. Or Shinigami, rather. I don't even need to put any muscle into it. It's easy, like cutting paper with a pair of scissors. The bed, the chair, the desk, the walls, and even the floor, none of them are any different. And I've never tried it, but I'm positive it would be the same for people too. Shiki's a serial killer in the making. I'm just gonna say this right now. Is this why people were sending me the murder is okay gifts, because people are telling him to murder? No one else can see the scribbles. Only I can. I think it's because everything is falling apart. And these are the seams holding them together. Just like my chest. It still hasn't fully healed after the operation, so they've stitched me up where it would otherwise fall apart. That's gotta be it. I mean, how else could a kid like me cut up a whole wall? Okay, this is really cool. The nurse screams again. Seeing the holes in the wall, she glares in my direction. Her shriek goes on and on. Luckily, something is up with my ears, so it doesn't sound all that loud to me. The drawn-out noise fills me with dread, like the sound of a burning cicada. Everything is in tatters. The idea of opening my eyes, of living at all, is enough to make me want to disappear. Wow, this is heavy. All this time, I never knew about the stitches holding the world together, and how easily they can break. No one else sees them. That's why they can go on living just fine. They don't know about the cracks all around us. And I know this is like a literal sense, but like metaphorically, like if you're talking about like a message for the story so far, this is heavy, man. Like the world is falling apart and we just don't notice it. They don't know how damaged their lives are. But I see it all. It chills me to the bone, holding me in place. Since it happened, everything sounds muffled, like my ears have been stuffed. Only the gash in my chest screams like a siren. But what happened? And when? No matter how hard I try, I can't remember, and scratching my head over it doesn't help either. My brain must have gotten rid of that information to make space for something more important, but the questions still leak out like water from a tap. And no, I don't know how I'm doing this in one take, whereas when I'm doing regular videos, I mess up 50 goddamn times. How do I do it?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Oh, I think I get it. It's Kingdom Hearts. It's Kingdom Hearts that's doing it. The pieces all fit. That's why there's no mirror in here. If there was, the very first thing I would do I know it's blanked out and it probably means like something like slice it, cut it, but I know what Robot Chicken would do. Fuck it. The very first thing I would do is fuck it. I'd be laughing while it lay there shattered, which means they're not the ones in danger of breaking. It's me who's broken. Now it all makes sense. Why 2 weeks have passed and no one believes me. Why 2 weeks have passed and no one's come to see me. Why 2 weeks have passed and I'm the only one living in the stitched together world. I don't want to be in this hospital anymore. I don't want to be surrounded by these scribbles. I have to get somewhere far away, where there won't be any people around. I'm not the weird one. It's this place that's weird, is what I tell myself as I make a run for it. But the wound in my chest stops me from getting too far. By the time I realize it, I've ended up in the field next to the hospital. I didn't get very far at all. My chest is burning. I squat to the ground miserably, battling a bout of coughs. I can't stay here, but I can't go anywhere else either. There's nowhere to go for someone who can see all of the stitching. Another wave of coughs hits me. No one's around. A sea of grass at the end of summer. It wouldn't be the worst place to disappear. The thought is suddenly interrupted.
君、そんなところでしゃがんでると危ないわよ。
Hey, you'll get hurt if you stay there. The voice of a woman cuts through to my ears, clear as crystal. Huh?
絵じゃないでしょ
MILF. Don't harm me. This is the girl from red hair from the back of the box, and she is hot. I love her hair.
ただでさえちっこいんだから草むらでうずくまってると見えないのよね。気をつけなさい。危うく蹴り飛ばされるところだったんだから。
A squirt like you shouldn't be curled up in such tall grass. He almost got punted across the field. I mean, Pokemon gather in tall grass, you idiot. Oh, I love her hair. Oh, she's so pretty. The woman scolds away, her finger pointing at me grumpily. I feel anger creep up inside me. I'm not that small. I'm only the 4th shortest in my class. Damn it.
蹴り飛ばされるって誰に？
And who's gonna kick me, huh?
バカね。そんなの決まってるじゃない。
Isn't that obvious?
ここにいるのは私と君だけなんだから。私以外に誰がいるっていうの？
You and I are the only ones here. Who else could it be but me? The woman sure looks proud of herself, crossing her arms like that.
ま、
Well,
ここで会ったのも何かの縁だし、少し話し相手になってくれない？私は青崎青子って言うんだけど、君は？
well, maybe it's fate that we found each other here. Fate stay night. The name's Aoko Aozaki. What's yours? She speaks casually, like one friend to another, and offers out her hand. Seeing no reason to refuse, I introduce myself to Shiki Tono. Shiki's introducing himself to himself. Seeing no reason to refuse, I introduce myself as Shiki Tono and accept her offered hand, like I'm being pulled in magnetically. Talking to her is fun. She doesn't shoot down anything I say just because I'm a kid, and she treats me like a person, listening to my every word. I tell her all about myself. I tell her about home, about my long family lineage, how my dad is tough on etiquette and stern all the time, how I have a little sister, Akiha, who's really quiet and follows me everywhere, how I always play with Akiha and our friends in the garden, which is as big as a forest since we have a huge mansion. Why does everyone in these stories have a huge mansion? How the attic is our secret spot. How I'm bad at word games. How everyone says I'm going to grow taller. How I used to like the smell of hospitals, but now I don't. How I love the sky when it's clear and blue, but looking at it makes me want to cry. How I'm glad to be alive. How I don't even hate the doctor with a pretend smile. I surprise myself. I keep yapping away feverishly.
おっと、もうこんな時間。
Oh, look at the time.
悪いわね、シキ。私、ちょっと用事があるから、お話はここまでにしましょう。
Sorry, Shiki. I have some stuff I need to take care of. Let's stop here. The woman starts to leave. The thought of being alone again fills me with sadness.
じゃあまた明日。ここで待ってるからね。
See you tomorrow. I'll be waiting here for you.
君もちゃんと病室に帰って、きちんと医者の言いつけを守るんだぞ。
Now, be a good boy and go back to the hospital. And listen to what the doctor says, alright?
Oh.
Ah. She says it so naturally, as if the idea that we weren't going to meet again tomorrow hadn't even crossed her mind. And leaves.
明日。
See you tomorrow. We'll get to talk again tomorrow, just like we did today. I'm so happy. It's the first time I've felt something so strongly since waking up from the accident. Going to the grassy field in the afternoon has become a regular thing. The lady would get angry whenever I called her Aoko. She seems to hate her own name. Unsure what to call her at first, I eventually settled on Master. Oh, she's pretty. Master always listens to whatever I have to say and solves each and every one of my problems. Since the accident, I've hated talking to people, but thanks to her, I'm slowly becoming my old self again. Being here on the grassy field is the only time my worries slip away, and I feel like the old me. I don't know who she really is, but I get the sense she could actually be a real teacher at some school. Not that it's any of my business. Yeah, you're just talking to a random stranger in a forest, out of nowhere. I guess it's different in Japan. Being around her is fun. That's all that matters.
ねえ先生、僕こんなことができるよ。
Hey, Master, look what I can do. I want to surprise her. I pull out a knife I took from the hospital, and I cut the tree standing in the field. Call the police. It's a serial killer.
Call the police.
Also, I don't think Phil would be very appreciative of you slicing her tree. She worked very hard on that tree. Tracing the lines, I slice from the center of the tree to the bark.
すごいでしょ。落書きが見えてるところならどこだって簡単に切れるんだよ。こんなの他の誰にもできないよね。
Cool, don't you think? I can see these scribbles everywhere, and as long as I follow them, I can cut anything like butter. No one else can do this, right? I think she's broken. She's speechless. I get into a groove and decide to sink my knife into a horizontal line across the base of the tree. Shiki! She rushes towards me, and I feel the palm of her hand slap my cheek. Master?
やめなさい。君は今とても軽率なことをしたわ。
You need to stop. What you just did was incredibly thoughtless. She stares at me seriously. It's an unforgiving look, the determined gaze of someone about to punish an evildoer. I knew there was evil afoot. How could I be so stupid? I was having so much fun. I completely forgot. These scribbles shouldn't exist, which means someone like me, who can see them, shouldn't exist either. A feeling of regret seeps into my chest like blood. I wish I could crawl up into a ball and die. That tree was the last reminder that this field was once a forest. And desperate to show off, I went and destroyed it, for no real reason at all. I'm sorry. I feel tears trickle down my face. I know boys shouldn't cry, but I can't help it. No, that's wrong. Boys can cry. Shiki. I hear my name called softly. Suddenly, even with the knife still in my hand, she hugs me tight.
謝る必要はないわ。
You don't need to apologize.
まあ、確かにシキは怒られるようなことをしたけど、それは決してあなただけが悪いってわけじゃないんだから。
You did do something worth getting angry over, but it doesn't mean you're the only one to do something bad.
悪いのは僕だけじゃない。
It doesn't?
ええ。でもね、シキ。それとは別のところで、今誰かが君を叱っておかないと取り返しのつかないことになる。
I'm looking at the clock here. I think I'm gonna stop in like a minute. I just wanna get this last little bit done. I think I'm close to the end.
1 day later.
No, but listen, Shiki. If someone doesn't set you straight now, it'll lead to mistakes that can't be undone.
だから私はあなたを一人の人間として見た。
So I have to give it to you straight, like you were just any other person.
同じ立場の人間として意見して、怒って本気で叩いた。力加減を間違えていたら、私もシキを殺していたかもってくらい本気で。
What you did was something I couldn't help but react to violently. If I had misjudged my strength, I could have killed you. Is she a vampire too? Her words truly frighten me. It isn't that I'm afraid of her killing me, but that I had pushed her into almost doing so. The thought of it makes my heart sink.
泣かないで、シキ。私も謝らないから。
So, don't cry, Shiki. And don't worry about apologizing. I won't either. Also, side note, like, her hair's red. I love red hair. Apparently it's not a witch on the holy night. How dare they?
あなたはそれだけのことをしたんだって覚えていてほしいから。
Instead, I want you to understand the severity of what you've done.
その代わり、シキは私のことを嫌ってもいいわ。
Even if it means you hate me for it.
先生のこと嫌いじゃないよ。
I don't hate you.
そう。本当によかった。
Really? That's a relief.
私が
It looks like it was fate that I met you here. Oh, Fate stay night. Fate stay in the kitchen. And just like that, as if to melt away my feelings of regret, she quietly asks me about the scribbles I keep seeing. When I start telling her about the lines, I feel her hug me tighter.
シキ、君が見ているものは現実のものよ。
Shiki, what you're seeing is very real.
決して見えてはいけないものだとしても、
Even if they weren't meant to be seen.
他の人間にとってはありえないことだとしても、
Even if people refuse to believe they exist.
その線は幻じゃない。あなただけにある現実。
The lines you're seeing aren't an illusion. They're a reality that's all your own. Okay, I need to take a step back here because, like, more than just, like, I wanted to make this illusion joke from Fate, but, like, I read the full line, I'm just like, that's so poignant because, like, that's so true about real life in general, is that your perception is what makes you you, and even if people can't see something, even if people can't acknowledge you, your reality is important. And this is so beautiful. So that's it?
じゃあやっぱりおかしいのは僕だけなんだね。
I really am weird?
ええ、あなたはおかしい。そこはごまかしようがない。
Yes, Shiki, you are. I won't deny that. I fight back the tears. What she said stings 1,000 times more than when the doctor doubted me. But it's not like I didn't see this coming. From the very start, from the moment I woke up, I've known the truth. I shouldn't even be alive. Oh, so that's the message that he took. Like, it's not that the fact that it's a miracle you're alive. It's he shouldn't be alive. Kind of like Shiro's survivor guilt in that way.
謝らないで。その異常はおかしいだけで、説明がつかないものじゃない。
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You have a strange condition, but it's far from unexplainable.
道理が通っているものなら、人間は何にだって向かっていける。これ、私の経験則ね。
People can face anything if they understand the reasons behind it. At least, I've come to believe so. This is also kind of a very good metaphor for, like, mental disability and physical disability, and, like, I'm kind of really feeling it because I have disabilities, or had them when I was alive. You know, I'm a ghost. Would you call being a ghost a disability? Because I guess it is.
どんなに馬鹿げたデタラメがやってきても、知恵と勇気で乗りこなすのが私たち人間よ。
Even an absolute fool will find a way to triumph if they've got the courage and wisdom to back it up. That's what makes us human. My first lesson, she calls it, with a hint of embarrassment. Having a strange condition isn't a problem itself. Oh my god, I love this. Where was this when I first came with my disability? The problem is how I choose to deal with it.
じゃあ、この落書きも説明できる？
Then, can you explain these scribbles?
もちろん。ものにはね、壊れやすい箇所というものがある。
Sure. So, everything has parts that break more easily.
いつか壊れる私たちは、壊れるがゆえに完全じゃない。
The fact that we'll all break down someday makes us imperfect beings.
君の目はそういったものの末路。言い換えれば未来を見てしまっているんでしょう。
Your eyes see where things come to an end. I guess you could say that you see the future. Ah, so they're kind of like Grim Reaper eyes. Like, he's not literally seeing the cracks, he's seeing the future of where things will be. Kind of like moving it forward in time, in a way.
未来を見てる。
I see the future.
I can see the future!
そうよ。今はそれ以上は知らなくていい。
That's right. For now, that's all you need to know.
もし君がそういう流れに沿ってしまう時が来るなら、必然としてそれなりの理屈を知ることになるでしょう。
You'll learn more when the time comes. If you end up crossing that bridge, that is.
先生、何のことだかよくわからない。
I'm not sure I get what you're saying.
分かっちゃダメ。今大事なのは一つだけ。その線は決していたずらに切ってはいけない。
Yeah, it's probably better that way. There's only one thing you need to understand. You shouldn't try to cut those lines on a whim again.
君の目は物の命を軽くしすぎてしまうから。
If you do, you'll lose sight of just how precious life is. And oh my god, I almost couldn't say that because I'm starting to cry. Like, no, legit, like, my eyes are tearing up because, oh, this is such a good line.
先生が言うならしない。
Okay, I won't.
それに、なんだか胸が痛いんだ。ごめんね先生。もう二度とあんなことはしないから。
My chest kind of hurts too. I'm sorry. I promise I won't ever do something like that ever again.
よかった。
Good.
チキ、今の気持ちを絶対に忘れないで。そうしていれば、君は必ず幸せになれるんだから。
Be sure to remember that feeling, Shiki. If you do, I know you'll be able to live a happy life. She uncoils her arms, freeing me from her embrace. The sensation, cold and yet warm, fades away.
でも先生、この落書きが見えてると不安なんだ。だってこの線を引けば切れちゃうんでしょ。なら僕の周りはいつバラバラになってもおかしくないじゃないか。
But seeing them puts me on edge. Things fall to pieces when I cut them, you know? It's like everything around me could come crashing down at any second.
その問題は私が何とかするわ。
Let me worry about that.
どうやらそれが私がここに来た理由のようだし。
After all, it seems to be what led me to you. She heaves a long sigh and then smiles at me.
チキ、明日君にとっておきのプレゼントを。
Shiki, I'll have a special present just for you tomorrow. Is it a cat? I hope it's a cat. Or a bunny. It could be a bunny.
私が君を以前の生活に戻してあげる。
I'm going to return you to your normal life. Huh. The next day, on the 7th day since I first met Master, she comes to the field, hauling a huge trunk with one hand. And on the 7th day, our Lord and Savior Auka brought us something.
これをかけていればもう妙な落書きは見えなくなるはず。
Alright, put these on and you won't have to worry about those weird lines anymore. She hands me an ordinary pair of glasses. Oh my god. Phil, in the primer, I joked that he should just wear glasses if he saw lines in his visions, like I do. I wear glasses. You can't see it because they're ghost glasses. But I was joking. I was joking. He actually fixes the eyes with glasses. My glasses.
僕目は悪くないよ。
But I can see perfectly fine.
いいからかけなさい。度は入ってないから。
Just try them on. They're non-prescription. They're full of drugs. I do as she says and put them on. And the moment I do,
すごい、すごいよ先生。
wow, these are amazing, Master. The
落書きがち
scribbles,
っとも見えない。
the scribbles are all gone.
当たり前よ。わざわざ姉貴のところの魔眼殺しを奪ってまで作った青崎青子渾身の一品なんだから。粗末に扱ったらただじゃおかないからね、シキ。
Damn right they are. I had to go swipe my sister's pair to make them, but these mystic eye killers are a bona fide, one-of-a-kind Aoko Ozaki creation. You'd better take good care of them, Shiki. And, Phil told me, but apparently Aoko's sister is from Kara no Kyokai? And I'm just like, Nasu. Forget the MCU, this is the biggest multiverse.
大事にする。けど先生ってすごいね。
I will, I promise. But, wow, you really are awesome.
あれだけ嫌だった線がみんな消えちゃって、なんだか魔法みたいだこれ。
You made all those horrible lines vanish like magic.
それも当然。だって私魔法使いだもん。
I should hope so. I am a magician. Well, actually, she's a witch on a holy night. But we'll get to that, even though they took away her red hair. A smug grin stretches across her face as she drops the trunk to the ground. My voice. A smug grin stretches across her face as she drops the trunk to the ground.
でもね、シキ。その線は消えたわけじゃないわ。ただ見えなくしているだけ。そのメガネを外せば、線はまた見えてしまう。
There's just one thing, Shiki. Those lines haven't vanished. They're only hidden. If you take those glasses off, you'll see them again.
見えないだけ？
You mean they're still there?
ええ。そればっかりはもう直しようがないことよ。君はその目となんとか折り合いをつけて生きていくしかないの。
I'm sorry, I'm starting to cry again. Exactly. There's no way to fix your condition. The best you can do is find a way to live with it. As someone who had to find a way to live with their own condition, that hit so close to home.
やだ。こんな怖い目いらない。またあの線を切っちゃったら先生との約束が守れなくなる。
No way. I don't want these scary eyes. They're just going to make me break my promise to you.
ああ、もう二度と線を切らないっていうあれか。
Ah, the one about never cutting the lines again.
バカね。あんな約束気軽に破っていいわよ。
Silly. You can break that promise whenever you feel like it.
そうなの？だって ごくいけないことだって言ったじゃないか。
Really? But didn't you say cutting the lines is bad?
ええ、いけないことよ。
You're right. It is.
けど、その目は誰にも頼らない。君個人の力なんだもん。
But those eyes of yours carry a special power that belongs to you and no one else.
だから、それを使おうとするのは君の自由。その目があることについて、君以外の他の誰も君を責めることはできない。
It's up to you how you choose to use them. No one can blame you for having that power.
問われることがあるとしたら、あなたがその力で何をしたかということだけよ、チキ。
The only question is what you want to do with it, Cheeky. Oh my god. Like, I know it's not explicitly meant to be a disability parallel, but that's how it reads to me, and it hits so close to home.
僕が何をするか。
What I want to do? She stares into my eyes as if trying to peer inside.
そういうこと。うん、やっぱりいい目だ。
That's how it is. Yep. As I thought. You have a fine look in your eyes.
正直言うとね、初めて君と会った時、めんどくさいのにぶつかっちゃったなーって思ったんだ。だって君、見た感じいろいろなくしてきたみたいだから。
To tell you the truth, when I first ran into you, I wondered what kind of mess I'd gotten myself into. You looked like someone who had lost so much already.
でも、問題なんてなかった。君はちゃんと生きている。なら、人生かけて取り返していきなさい。
But I guess I had nothing to worry about. Those aren't the eyes of someone willing to take things lying down. So go, reclaim the life you've lost. Even with a whole lifetime, I can never find the words to describe the light I felt in my chest, or the rush of joy that came with it. You belong here. Oh my god, oh my god. She reaffirmed my reason for being more forcefully than anyone ever had.
シキ、君は個人が保有する能力の中でもひどく得意な能力を持ってしまった。けど、それが君にあるということは何かしらの意味があるということなの。
Shiki, you have one of the most unique abilities, even among all the strange and wondrous things out there. But the fact that you have it means there must be a reason for it.
神様は何の意味もなく力を分けない。君の未来には必要になる時があるから、その直視の目があるとも言える。それは残酷なことだろうけど。
God doesn't grant power to people for no reason. It might be that you have eyes of death perception because you'll need them someday. Though that sure is a cruel fate.
だからこそ忘れないで。君はとてもまっすぐな心をしている。
But that's why you mustn't forget who you are. A boy with an honest heart. And I was a little bit iffy about the name Eyes of Death Perception at first. I thought they were like a little bit edgelord, a little bit like, oh my god, I can see death, but like it's more that he can see where things are going to end. And I think it's fitting.
今の君がある限り、その目は決して間違った結果は生まないでしょう。
As long as that's true, Your eyes will never lead you astray.
成人になれなんてことは言わない。君は君が正しいと思う大人になればいい。
I'm not asking you to be a saint. Just do what you think is right.
いけないということを素直に受け止められて、ごめんなさいと言える君なら、10年後にはきっと素敵な男の子になってるわ。
If you can learn from any mistakes you make, you'll grow into a fine man, maybe 10 years or so down the line. She stands and reaches out for the trunk.
でも、よっぽどのことがない限り、メガネは外しちゃダメだからね。特別な力は特別な力を呼ぶものだし。
Oh, I will say you shouldn't take those glasses off, except in extraordinary circumstances. Special powers have a tendency to attract other special powers.
はい、私からの忠告。その2。
And here's one more piece of advice from me.
反則の出しどころ、勝負どころをよく考える。
If you're going to break the rules, think long and hard about the best time to do it.
そうならないことを祈っているけど、どうしても自分の手には負えないと判断した時だけメガネを外して、よく考えて力を行使なさい。
I pray you never have to, but should you ever need to take off those glasses, think clearly before you use your power.
その力自体は決して悪いものじゃない。
The power you have isn't bad.
結果をいいものにするか悪いものにするかは、あくまで君の判断次第なんだから。
Whether you use it for good or for evil is your choice to make. She picks up the trunk, and without her even saying a word, I know it's time for us to say our goodbyes.
無理だよ先生。僕だけじゃいいことになんてできない。
That's impossible, Master. I can't use this power for good.
本当は先生に会うまで怖くてたまらなかった。けど先生がいてくれたから僕は僕に戻れたんだ。
I was so afraid of it until I met you. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't even be myself anymore.
ダメなんだ。先生がいなくちゃ、こんなメガネがあったってダメに決まってるじゃないか。
I can't do it. Even if I have these glasses, there's no way. Not without you around.
シキ、心にもないことは言わないこと。自分自身も騙せないような嘘は聞いている方を不快にさせるわ。
Shiki, you shouldn't say things you don't believe. A lie that you can't even fool yourself with will only end up upsetting the one that hears it. Master's displeasure is readily apparent in her expression. She then flicks my forehead. Bonk.
自分でも分かっているんでしょ？もう大丈夫だって。
You already know it, don't you? You'll be fine.
なら、そんなつまらないことを言って、せっかく掴んだ自分を捨ててはいけないわ。
So don't say something stupid like that and throw away everything you've just reclaimed for yourself.
それじゃあお別れね。バイ、シキ。
This is farewell then. Bye, Shiki.
どんな人間だって人生ってのは落とし穴だらけなのよ。
Everyone's got their own share of problems to overcome in life.
君はそれを何とかできる力があるんだから、もっとちゃんとしなさい。
But you have the strength to do something about it. So pull yourself together. She's really leaving. I'm sad, but as her friend, I want to see her off right.
さよなら、先生。
Okay. Goodbye, Master.
よし、上出来上出来。その息でいつまでも元気でね。
Great. That's the spirit. Just keep that up and you won't have to think. Just keep that up and you won't have a thing to worry about.
最後の教訓。ピンチの時はまず落ち着いて、その後によく考えること。
Here's my last lesson for you. When you're backed into a corner, calm down and think carefully about what you should do next.
大丈夫。君なら一人でもちゃんとやっていけるから。
You're going to be fine. I have faith you'll turn out all right, even without me. She smiles fondly. A gust of wind sweeps through, sending a ripple across the sea of grass. She's gone.
バイバイ、先生。
Bye-bye, Master. As I say the words, the realization that I'll never see her again sinks in. Left with me are a treasure trove of advice and a strange pair of glasses. In just 7 days, I feel like I've learned the most important things of all. As I stand there aimlessly, tears start welling up. I'm such an idiot. All I said was goodbye. Not once did I say thank you. And I'm guessing that's the end of a scene. Yep, okay. Phil was right. I can tell when scenes end. I'm still gonna disagree with her, though. I'm gonna be bad. I'm gonna be bad, Phil. I'm sorry. I'm discharged from the hospital soon after. I won't be going back to the Tono household. Instead, I'm to be taken in by another family. Why? Oh, the Tonos suck. My body has recovered, but there are still lasting symptoms. To the Tonos, this means I'm defective. I'm no longer needed. Well, fuck them. But I don't care. Shiki Tono is going to be fine on his own. A new life and a new family are waiting for me. I leave behind the hospital room where I spent my 10th summer. The curtains by my window sway in the breeze, just like always. I take in one last glimpse of the blue sky. As I do, a dry breeze washes over me, spelling the end of summer. Well, Phil, it looks like my summer vacation is over. That was the intro? Day 1. Homecoming 1. The tracks take a sudden dive, leaving the surface behind. Casting an artificial light across the tunnel walls, the train makes its way through the darkness. The car creaks around me. Man-made lights pass by at regular intervals. The vibration through the seat lulls me into reflection on this short little journey. It's early. 6:33 a.m. Ah, so you, like me, Shiki, are a midnight owl. 30 minutes have come and gone since I got on this train. That's how long it's been since I said goodbye to the people who took care of me all this time. How I react to this probably says a lot about me as a person. I'm sure some people might feel sad and wish they could have stayed longer. Others would accept it without a second thought. I wonder which side I fall on. I realized after a moment that I don't really feel either. I'm the only one sitting on the 8-seater bench. The seats in front of me are empty. There are only a couple of other people on the train, including a sleeping man in a suit on the bench next to mine, and a woman standing in front of the door. It may be early, but it feels particularly empty today. The noise from outside is strangely muted, but maybe I'm just lost in thought. The train vaguely reminds me of a spaceship traveling through the darkness of outer space. No sound can reach it out here. The only things here are my stupid daydreams, the sound of my heart beating, and my memories from an hour ago. It came like a bolt from the blue. Makihisa Tono has died. Shiki Tono is to return to the Tono household immediately. Am I saying this right? Makihisa. The first contact I'd had from my family in 7 years. And that's how it goes? So yeah, he's 17 at this point. The Tono family's word is final. I'm still a student, and they pay for all my expenses. But choosing to return to the mansion today instead of yesterday was my one act of defiance. I just wanted to stay a little longer at the home where I had spent so much of my life. And besides, they cast you aside, the jackasses. It was all I could do for the family that took me in and treated me like their own. Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious. Also, I'm just going to say this outright. I don't know if Akiha, his sister, is blood related or found family. Either way, don't date your sister. I finish my meal and leave the table before the sun even rises. After taking one final glance at my room, I clap my hands together in thanks. And I wish my model could do that. It's not much for all the time I've stayed here, but I don't want to leave anything unsaid. I led a happy life here. That's what I want to carry away with me. Keiko saw me off alone as I left the Arima household. I asked to leave quietly without waking the others. Thank you for everything. Give my regards to Dad and Miyako for me. 7 years, the woman who had acted as my mother in that time looked terribly sad. I never once thought I'd see her like this. life may be hard at the Tono Mansion, but you'll be okay, understand? Don't overdo it. Make sure to look after your health first and foremost. I take her words of encouragement to heart. My time spent with them was peaceful. I just hope I didn't cause the Arimas too much trouble during my time with them. I wish I could pick a good voice for her, but, like, I don't see her, so... It's been 7 years. I've had plenty of time to recover. I'm a lot sturdier than I look, you know? Yes, you're right. The Tonos are quite the unusual family, but you're not one to let that bother you. You've always been a strange boy. My poor insane son. She smiles through her sadness, and I smile back. I'm happy that she still considers me to be her child. Ah, found family, I love that trope. I think you're giving me a little too much credit. Well, I should get going. Take care, Mom. Goodbye, Shiki. Take care. Keiko knows that I won't be coming back. She sends me off with tears in the corners of her eyes. That was just 40 minutes ago. That moment marked the end of my previous life, and the start to my new one. The view outside shifts slowly. We must have crossed the river that separates the suburban Yashirogi and arrived in the city of Soya. The train begins its return climb to the surface. I can feel the gentle incline. Bright light shines through, piercing my eyes, which had grown accustomed to the artificial dimness of the subway. It's so pretty. The train sweeps towards the city. The majority of its inhabitants are still asleep. Outside, the air is chilly. A fall morning in the month of October. The heat of summer is little more than a faint memory now. See, month of October. This is perfect for Halloween. This is the Halloween visual novel. I've watched the same view nearly every day for a year and a half now. But this is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Memories of the past 7 years rush by like the scenery outside the window. I survived a terrible injury that would have killed most 10-year-olds. Yeah, you got stabbed in the eyes by vampires, I assume. I met the woman that would become my master, my mentor in life. I went to live with the Arima family. And now I'm halfway through my 2nd year. The thing Master feared might happen when we parted ways never came to pass. And as long as I have these glasses on, I don't have to worry about seeing those lines again. And so, Shiki Tono has led an ordinary, though at times difficult life. That all changes today. There's nothing major, like feeling I don't belong or anything like that. I just don't feel right going back to the way things were before. Having lived a normal life these past few years, the Tono family's way of doing things just seems like a pain, or at least more troublesome than it's worth.
だいたい学校より広い洋館とか想像つかないんですけど。
Besides, I can't even imagine living in a mansion bigger than my entire school. I'm surprised I was able to handle it when I was a child. The thought of going back to that old-fashioned way of life is daunting, to say the least. The train stops at a large station for a few minutes. The local line I'm taking has to wait for the express to pass. The platform is empty. Usually I would expect to see morning commuters in suits on their way to work, but it's particularly quiet today. God, those two words, commuters and particularly, always trip me up. The express passes by on the neighboring rails. Thank you for your patience. The next stop is... An announcement I've heard hundreds of times plays. The door closes with a hiss of air. I see that there are 4 stations left to Soya Station, the station where my school... Wait. Ah, the true villain vampire. Whew, that was a close one. I could have lost my head if I wasn't careful. A girl wearing my school's uniform slips through the automatic doors as they close. Her ribbon is green, so she must be a 3rd year. I feel like I've seen her before. Alright, so this is CL. First impressions, I like her blue hair, but I've always liked her blue hair. Probably wouldn't be a thing in schools. For those who don't know, this is a Teach Me Bunny Senpai segment for me. So, as Joey the Anime Man has put it, and from my recollections, from what my cousin Steve has told me, in actual Japanese high schools, their uniforms are muted so as to make things less stand out. And that would go for dyed hair. Dyed hair, pierced ears, things that set you apart are discouraged in Japan because their whole thing is we work together as one unit. We learn together, we're the same. And while that might be discouraging to some, and it kind of is, like, you do have, like, Yankee students because of this. I think what it's trying to promote is a feeling of unity and a feel that no one is better than anyone else. And I think that's pretty good. But also the fact that she has blue hair and a green ribbon probably would not be standard in a Japanese school. I'm just saying. The bag she's holding in her hands must contain things for her club activities. Oh, it's you. Why are you staring at me? Our eyes meet for a moment. It's the Nami moment. The girl continues to stare at me. Just when I notice that she's walked closer... good morning. Sorry about all that. Oh, no. If anything, I'm sorry for staring. The way she smiles has me apologizing almost by a reflex. Please, it's my fault for causing such a big scene in the first place. As a 3rd year, I should be setting a better example. And I'm kind of surprised, but I like her instantly. She's kind of like a timid personality, but she's eccentric like Taiga, so it's like, it's a really good kind of combination.
でも朝は弱いって話本当なんですね
I guess you weren't lying when you said you weren't a morning person. The girl laughed slightly. I'm distracted by her laughter and...
ほら私ですよ先週会ったばっかりなのにもう忘れちゃったんですか
Miss, are you coming on to me because yes, I'm okay with this. Come on, it's me. We just met last week, don't you remember?
あれシエル先輩
Ciel. In an instant, my memory is jolted awake. How could you not remember that face? I knew she felt familiar. I've crossed paths with her a number of times. And now that I think about it, there's probably not a person in the whole school who doesn't know Ciel. Soya High's most revered third year. Happy to offer advice to any distraught first year. That pose, I love it. I love it. She's just like, yo, bitches, I'ma learn you some shit. Eager to solve the woes of any troubled second year. And quick to save underclassmen from the ire of third years. Some students call her the true student council president, considering most people rely on her over the teachers or actual student council. I wonder if this is going to be like anime where the student council runs the scenes, because in real life student council don't have full authority and control, but you know, that's not as exciting. She even helped me with something just last week. Man, how out of it am I? Ciel is right about how I hate mornings, but thinking about returning home for the first time in 7 years must be killing my brain cells. That and the G Fuel. He's had too much G Fuel. And Raid Shadow Legends. That'll kill your brain cells right quick. Okay, so we have our first choice here. I either... 1, can't think of a single thing to say, think of something to ask, or take the opportunity to admire what's in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to say something right now and get this out of the way. So, Shiki is 17, and Ciel is 18. Now, I am much different age bracket. I'm undead, and I've lived for much longer time, but when I put myself into these types of games, I try to put myself in the head of the protagonist, since we're directly taking Shiki's point of view. And if I was a 17-year-old boy, I would admire what's in front of me. I know it's kind of creepy, but like, she's cute. She's very cute. So it is funny. I'm gonna admire what's right in front of me. I can't help but be intrigued. My eyes drop from the bag on her shoulder down to her legs. Wow, he's not even subtle. I mean, those legs, they're nothing short of amazing. Absolute perfection. I mean, if you gotta flaunt it, right? Coursing with the quiet energy of flowing water, they feel ready to surge into motion at any moment. So, I mean, he's just appreciating how athletic she is.
SpongeBob didn't pay his rent. Get away!
I try to pull my eyes away, but I'm utterly transfixed. They're truly a work of art. Man, he is down bad. I thought Shiro was down bad, but he is down bad. Tono, Never before have I seen strength and beauty in such perfect harmony. And like I said, he's a 17-year-old boy raging with hormones. I expect this. Although they're pleasantly defined, they are sprinter's legs at heart. Rumor has it that CL set a new school record, outside of the track team anyway, during the fitness test the other day. These legs ran 100 meters in 13 seconds. They're more valuable than diamonds. See, he's not doing it out of creeper, he's just admiring athleticism. Sure, quote, athleticism.
ですね。顔が近いというか、その持ち上げた手の動きがですね。
Think you could back up just a tad? And you're making kind of weird gestures. Call the police. Call the police.
すみません。今真剣な話を。
Sorry, but I'm in the middle of something important. It's very important that I am attracted to you, apparently. I see something important. Okay. Okay. But it's not like I'm her trainer or a rival on the track, as much as I wish I were. Even if I were to unveil all the secrets of her speed, it wouldn't do me any good. Shiki, come on. But I just, well, I don't really understand what's so important. I mean, they're just legs. This is very awkward. Of course you don't. I'm not even sure I do. How does one express how it feels to be captivated by such beauty? You're really down bad.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I want to jerk off! Fuck! I want to jerk off! Look at this!
Some claim that true beauty cannot be expressed in words, but is it not defeatist to suggest that something beautiful cannot be called what it is? I feel like Nasu, really had a lot of fun writing some of these comedic moments because he knew who he was catering towards. This is, a Dojin HE community, people were expecting something like this, but he's doing it so playfully. It's it is a little bit creepy, but also it's kind of funny at the same time. Will the day ever come when humanity transcends its myriad of biases and prejudices to put to words the true nature of... Tono, are you okay? It looked like something just hit you in the head, and he got what he deserved. Moral of the story, I did this just for laughs, but you don't do this to girls. Don't just stare at their legs. You ask first. Then, if they say yes, you can stare at their legs, but only if consent is had. I'm fine, I think. Mostly. Ignoring my throbbing head, I pick up the object that has fallen onto the seat. It's a shiny metallic object that fits perfectly in the palm of my hand. That is to say, it's a phone. Did he drop his own phone on his head? Oh no, she threw the phone at him. Excuse me, did you see something come this way? You mean this? It just came flying at me out of nowhere. There an app for testing throwing speed or something? Yada yada. Don't be absurd. I'll take that back now, thank you. The girl coolly retrieves her phone and moves to the other end of the car. She totally did that on purpose. I'm telling you, he got what was coming to him. You don't creep on a girl's legs. Then again, she has glasses, you have glasses. They're a match made in heaven. CL and I stare at each other, speechless. For better or for worse, I've come back to my senses. I cough to try and reset the conversation. Sorry, I was a little out of it back there. Anyway, how come you're heading to school so early? I didn't think you were in any clubs. Truth be told, I actually just got done with some volunteer work. Remember how the student council was recruiting people for a park cleanup? That's what I was just doing. Ah, now it all makes sense. CL is always running around helping out somebody or another, looking lovely in those glasses all the while. He down bad. It was just a quick half-hour early morning job. Everyone else went back home after, but that seemed like a hassle, so I'm heading straight to school. Her bag clatters as she shifts it on her shoulder. I had assumed it was full of club equipment, but it must be cleaning stuff. I love her expressions. She's definitely, like, she can definitely see through, like, right through Shiki and guess at his intentions. Oh ho! You want to see what's inside, do you? I didn't think you'd be so bold as to try and inspect my belongings. She draws closer and looks into my eyes. Her face is so close to mine that I can feel the warmth of her body. Flustered, I can't figure out where to look. And I think the earlier decision kind of fits with this because, like, you get the feeling that he's really down bad. No, it's not like that. I just thought that maybe you had a collapsible broom or rake or something. It's not every day you see one of those. Smooth. Ah, you want to see my multi-purpose head shears? Alright, come by the tea ceremony club after school. I'd love to have you. Faced with such a heartfelt smile, I end up blushing. I'd like to say something clever or witty, but a simple yes is all I can manage. I don't even know which room the tea ceremony club meets in, but I'll figure that out later. Promise? Just between you and me, I bought way too many snacks with the club funds. They're about to expire, so I could do with someone to help me polish them off.
じゃあ予定が合えばぜひ。
I see. Well, if I have the time, I'd be happy to drop by.
でも食べ物に釣られていくなんてなんか猫みたいですね。
Wait, did you just bribe me with food? What am I, a cat? No, 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 no. Arcueid is the Neko. Ciel's the teacher. Ciel's warm smile makes me feel comfortable enough to crack a joke. She adjusts the green ribbon around her neck.
どちらかというとワンちゃんではないでしょうか。
I'd say you're more of a dog. I mean, considering the earlier scene that we just went through, yeah, he a bit of a dog.
というか、猫科はよくありません。最後まで頼りになるのは律儀で頭のいい犬科です。
I dislike cats, really. I much prefer dogs. Smart, sincere, and loyal to the end. Okay, you just lost major points in my eyes. I mean, like, dogs are good. Dogs are good, don't get me wrong. I like a good pupper. But cats are amazing. Like, just look at my two cats. Look at the Neko arc coming up. Cats are better. Also, I just want to check something really quick. Can I view the flowchart? I can. So, like... I chose to admire what's in front of me. I'm enraptured by Ciel's legs. They look like an athlete's. Does she work out? Like, brah. Do you even lift, brah? Do you even lift? I'm sorry. This is so funny. But Ciel, you lost a little bit of points for not liking cats. I like you otherwise, but cats are good. For reasons I don't quite understand, she seems to feel very strongly about this. As we're both heading to the same place, we continue to chat. We talk about last week's midterms. We wonder why the sports festival has been reduced to one. I'm gonna take a sip of a drink. Cut this out, Phil.
No.
We wonder why the sports festival... I can't say festival. We wonder why the sports festival has been reduced to a one-day event. We complain about the cafeteria always serving the same things. After getting into a heated discussion about the plan to restrict phones at school, we tire each other out, sigh in unison, and change the subject. We laugh as we trade opinions on the movies we've seen recently. So, like, I just saw this movie called Now You See Me Too. It's actually really good. People, you know, thought it wasn't very good at the time, but it actually is. And then she's just like, nah, you crazy. Now You See Me 1 is better. 15 minutes go by in a flash. I mean, that's my experience creating these bun plays. They go by so quick. It's easy talking with her. She is, after all, incredibly popular among everyone. I don't want this to end, but we only have a few minutes left before we get to Soya Station. I try to bring up something else to talk about, but... Could you two keep it down? I'm sick of you two flirting. You're a married couple. Also, stop perving on her. We've forgotten where we are. Ciel and I bow our heads in apology. Guess that's what we get. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I must have been laughing too loud. It's not your fault, Ciel. She was just way too annoyed. She's on her way to a Holy Grail war, and she's having a bad day. Okay, I promised Phil I wouldn't make any more Fate Stay Night references, but, like, it's just too fun. With that, our conversation comes to a halt. The friendly cheer that filled the air just moments ago has vanished. It's quickly replaced by that familiar city silence, that cold space in which everyone is a stranger. The train pulls into Soya. Is it Soya or Suya? Suya. The train pulls into Suya Station. It's just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early today, so the town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet right now, but in about an hour it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters, and maybe even bunnies.
今朝も交通量が少なめですね。最近街の目覚めが遅い気がします。皆さん夜更かしなんでしょうかね。
There aren't many people around today either. It feels like this town is waking up later these days. I wonder if everyone's been staying up late. As Ciel shares this odd observation, I notice how heavy her bag looks.
荷物学校まで持って行きましょうか。
Hey, do you want help carrying your stuff to school? That actually is smooth.
ああ、いえいえ、お気になさらず。私は寄っていくところがありますので、ここでお別れですね。
Huh, oh no, I'm fine. I have to make a stop on the way, so I'll see you later. She smiles a goodbye and waves Wow. She smiles a goodbye and waves as she runs off. Her lithe... You stop staring at her legs. Her lithe legs carry her so swiftly, I almost expect a comical whoosh. I guess this is leg day. Nobody skips leg day. I feel an urge to start running too, though there's no reason for me to hurry. I probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. I start walking towards school at my usual pace. But just as I set off, the girl from before emerges from the ticket gates. She passes by briskly, slowing only to share a few chores. Why can't I talk? Phil, you better not be showing this to viewers.
Hey.
She passes by briskly, slowing only to share a few choice words.
動物的にも程があります。
Have you no shame acting like that in public?
公共の場で恥ずかしいと思わないんですか?
Even animals know better. He had that coming. And with that, she stalks away. I make my way to school, my steps heavier than usual. It's just about 7 when the main entrance to the school comes into view. Students hurry through the gate to go to their club activities. They must be trying to make the most of their time before homeroom starts at 8. Why can't I say words? Suya Municipal High School. An old school celebrating 40 years since its founding. Our college admission rate isn't bad. Our clubs do fine, and the rules aren't particularly strict. It's as normal a school as you can find, except for the fact that Zen can't pronounce Suya Municipal High School. The only complaint male students have is that their uniforms are too old-fashioned, but the school doesn't pay much attention to it. As for the girls, their uniforms were changed 3 years ago. Apparently, the school was worried that keeping the older sailor uniforms would lead to a drop in enrollment. But like, we like Sailor Moon. Say, you know, fighting evil by moonlight. Like, keep the old sailor uniforms. Something feels out of place on my usual walk to the school. Things feel busier than usual. Pale-faced teachers rush to the faculty room. A black car I've never seen before is parked in the parking lot. There's a chill in the air. Images flash through my mind. A sparsely attended funeral. The cold black of a hearse. Well, this just went from fun wackiness to a hearse. Ooh. I sigh at my own dark thoughts. Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling growing inside me, I head for the classroom. There's no one else here yet. I sit in my chair and kill time until homeroom truly begins. More people begin to fill the room as I get in some studying. Morning. I managed to survive practice somehow. Huh? You're early, Tono. I was sure we'd be the first ones here. Ah, it must be that volunteer thing. Damn, was that today? I think I was supposed to go to that. The students of 2C get along well compared to the other classes. We're pretty casual with each other before taking our seats. I catch up with classmates who have just ended their club activities. We go through your typical laundry list of things, from last night's ancient news to stuff that happened just minutes ago at school. Last night's ancient news is, damn millennials, everything goes too fast. For the record, I am a millennial too. We're just talking to pass the time, but this is an important morning ritual of ours. A warm-up exercise to start off the day. Kinda like how I warm up before all these recordings and I still mess up my lines. We'd only tire ourselves out if we tried to have real conversations about everything, especially in this age of information. The mood in the classroom changes suddenly. Lively chatter dies down to a whisper. Alright, losers, get out of the way. It's too early to deal with this shit. Crude remarks you wouldn't expect to hear among this otherwise harmonious bunch cut through the tranquility. I don't even need to turn around to know who it is. Only one person could do this to a room. It has to be Kuwabara.
Jeez! Good morning, Megane-kun!
Good morning, Megane-kun! I love it. Yo, sup, Four Eyes? To me, he's Kuwabara just with, like, shorter hair. You're looking specially like a punk-ass bitch today. I love him. I love him. I love him. Yup, only him, a delinquent with little respect for the sanctity of our school. Hey man, I'm talking to you. I'm actually here before noon for once, and you can't even give me a good morning? You ought to be happy I even bothered to show up.
ないよ。朝から恋が見てげんなりしてる。
Why should I? Your mug isn't exactly easy on the eyes.
そもそも
There
ありが
isn't.
とうとかないし、お前のために学校に来てるわけじゃないし。
There isn't anything to be happy about. It's not like I come to school to see you.
何？バカ言うなよ。俺は遠野のために学校に来てるんだぞ。そんなの不公平じゃんか。
Nani? What? How's that fair, dude? I come to school to see you. Oh, gosh. We're like totally having a bromance, man. I'm at a loss for words. Okay, this is my new favorite character. I love him. Sometimes I wonder why we're even friends. I mean, I can see it more than Shinji. He has a dyed head of orange hair and piercings in his ears. See, he's a delinquent because of dyed hair. And I know that you said, well, Phil said that CL's hair is natural, but I don't buy it. I don't believe that. If this is what is dyed orange, you know what? He's not Kuwabara. He's Ichigo. He's Kuwabara mixed with Ichigo because of the dyed hair. He is the Bleach. Sporting a perpetual scowl that's practically begging for a fight. A scowl? He has a smile. He seems to follow the delinquent dress code to a T. Though his brand of counterculture may be a little out of style, he still looks the part of a good punk. He's a Yankee, he's got the open, unbuttoned shirt, he says the yada yada daze, you know, that sort of thing. His name, Arihiko Inui. Arihiko, I like it. He's Yuma bro. Certified midnight stamp of approval, automatically passes, I don't care. He's the best boy.
まあいいか。朝から教室に来るのはいいことだ。
Whatever, man. It's good that you're in class at least.
おはよう、アリヒコ。ついに出席日数を気にしだしたか？
Morning, Arihiko. Those absences finally catch up with you?
いや、そこは別に気にしてない。まだまだ余裕はありますよ。今日は家に姉貴がいるんで。
Nah, I'm not too worried about that. I've still got plenty of wiggle room. My sister's at home, so I can't skip today is all. I was playing Mahjong all night, and it really did a number on me. My body's already at its limit.
そうか、すまない。挨拶をやり直させてくれ。
Uh-huh. Sorry, let me rephrase that.
おやすみ、くずひこ。
Good night, Trashiko. Go sleep at your desk already. Trashiko.
何その冷めた反応。
Man, that's cold.
それが中学からのライバルに対する態度ですか？もっとこう熱い対応してくれませんかね？
As your bitter middle school rival, you have to at least admit I'm more than that, or you're trash too.
なんで俺とお前がライバルなんだ。
How are we rivals?
無軌道に行きたいんなら街で同行の死を見つけてろよ。あんまり構わないでくれ。
Anyway, you could find a partner in crime loitering in town. Just leave me out of it. He does still owe me a bunch of money I lent him back in middle school, which makes him more of a moocher than a rival.
どうしてかな？遠野ってば俺にだけ冷たいよな。
Why am I the only one you ever pick on, huh?
他の奴らには成人君子みたいなやつ。不公平じゃね？
You're like the goddamn Pope when you're talking with other people. How's that fair?
なんだ、わかってるじゃないか。
Finally starting to get it, huh?
世の中、公平なことってあんまりないだろ。
Life isn't fair.
そりゃそうだけどよ。
Well, yeah, that's true, but...
やっぱお前、俺には特に冷たくね？
But aren't you especially an ass to me? Arihiko lets out an exaggerated sigh. I don't mean to treat him any certain way. Everything just naturally ended up this way after years of, I guess, unfiltered treatment. We may have completely different interests and tastes, but we seem to operate on a similar wavelength.
まあ、家から逃げてきた。まあいいとして。
Well, ignoring the fact that you've run away from home.
普段から夜型のお前が朝から出席するなんて、どんな風の吹き回しだ？ちょっと、いや、かなり普通じゃないぞ。
I'm surprised a night owl like you could even show up so early. You sure you're feeling okay? Okay, I resent that remark. I'm a ghost, and I am a midnight person. We should treat Trashiko with respect.
まあな、俺だってそう思う。
You're telling me.
たまたま目が覚めたからって来るもんじゃねえよな、学校ってやつは。ぶっちゃけもう帰りてえ。ああ、やっぱ学生には勉強する意志とか必要なんですかね。
I woke up early anyways, so I figured I'd at least show up, but I'm already itching to bail. I guess there's no point coming if you ain't willing to work. Such a drag. He's not wrong, but when he says it like that, it almost sounds like he wants an award just for making the trip to school.
そのあたりの議論は今度、暇な時に鏡に向けてやってくれ。俺が聞きたいのは、なんで街に行かないかってこと。カラオケでも漫画喫茶でも、時間潰すならそっちのがいいんじゃない？
Maybe you should try reciting the stuff to a mirror next time? How come you didn't go into town? Wouldn't you have been better off lazing about at a karaoke or a manga cafe?
そりゃあれだよ。最近は何かと物騒だからですよ。
Yeah, but, you know, all that shit that's been going down lately.
腹ごとこなすのもただじゃねえし、あっちには体力ある時しか顔出したくねえわけ。
Plus, I don't want to be caught with my pants down when I'm not at 100%, you feel?
物騒？
Something's been going down? At the mall? Meet me at the mall, it's going down?
おう、どうのだって知ってんだろ、例のあれ。
Yeah, haven't you heard?
派手に出回ってる通り魔事件の話だよ。
Oh.
夜になると警官も巡回しているしね。
Oh. The serial killer that's been making the rounds, like they own the place. The cops have been all over town at night looking for him. So we have people being chopped into pieces in the opening, and now a serial killer.
そっか。そんな話もあったっけ？
Right, I think I remember hearing about that. Hearing Arihiko talk about it reminds me. The goings-on in Suya hadn't bothered me while I was living several stations away with the Arima family. It was all over the news. I seem to remember...
なんだっけ？すごく低俗な売り文句だったけど。
What was it they were calling it? It was something tacky, like the Wet Bandits?
深夜の通り魔事件だっけ？
The Suya Slasher. That's actually pretty good. It's better than the hash slinging slasher.
連続猟奇殺人事件な。被害者は大抵若い女で、2日前に発見された仏さんで8人目。かつ全員の喉元にバツの字の傷跡があるとかないとか。
They're saying it's some super freaky serial killer. Most of the victims are young women, with the one found the other day making the 8th victim. Each one apparently had an X carved into their throat. And like, I know this is very serious, and I'm gonna keep the tone somber in a bit, but all I can think of is like, man, Xehanort's striking again. God damn it, Xehanort. Weird. My mind can't even picture something like that.
違うよ、乾くん。殺されちゃった人はみんな体内の血液が著しく失われているんだよ。
That's not right, Inui. I heard all the victims were completely drained of their blood. Vampires. It's gotta be vampires. Phil, this is all you're doing.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Vampires. Oh, hi, Yumizuka. You're the 6th route that Phil was talking about. Yumizuka pokes her head out and corrects us, likely drawn by how loud we all are. Yeah, that's it. The headline called him a modern-day vampire or something like that. Thanks, Yumizuka. And morning. I can't do his particular tone, so I'm doing more of a deeper version. But I love that, like, that type of voice, the delinquent, but who's kind of a ditzy person. Like, I can't do it, but it's great. Thank you. Good morning, Inui.
ついでに言うと外傷には個人差があって、傷が全くない場合と損傷の激しいタイプに分かれてるだったかな。
Apparently, the wounds left behind differ from person to person. Some bodies come out unscathed, while others are horribly mangled. I think. Oh god, now I'm imagining Chiaki is the one saying all this because of the catchphrase, I think.
詳しいんだね、弓塚さん。
You're pretty knowledgeable about this, Yumizuka.
そんなことないよ。
Not at all. Baka? She is so cute when she blushes.
この街で起きている事件なんだもん。ニュースを見てれば嫌でも覚えちゃうことだと思う。
It's just hard not to see it everywhere when it's happening in our backyard.
とま、そういうことだよ、トノ。
Well, you heard it, Tono.
いくら俺でもな、夜中に殺人犯が出歩いているうちは夜遊びなんざしねっての。最近は真面目に家の中で夜更かししてるわけ。
I'm not crazy enough to go walking around town when there's a killer around. I've just spent the past few nights chilling at my place, you know, a couple beers, just chilling, playing mahjong, you know, the usual Japanese delinquent stuff. Yeah, totally. Totally.
なんだ、そんな理由だったのか。
So that's your reason.
まともすぎて逆に意外だ。殺人犯に怯えて家にこもるなんてお前らしくもない。
I'm kind of surprised it's a half-decent one. It's not like you to hide away, afraid in your house.
らしくないじゃねえよ。普通は殺人犯に怯えるだろう。
Yeah, Yeti. Even I'm afraid of a murderer. I ain't that stupid.
こっちはやる気がねえのに、あっちだけやる気満々とか、不意打ちにも程がある。絶対にごめんだね。俺はまだ人生棒に振りたくねえ。
I got no interest fighting someone really out for blood, especially if they ain't gonna do it fair and square. I still got a lot of living left to do, and I ain't got dying on my plate today. No dying today, no siree. I predict he's gonna die.
そっか。そうだよな。狙われたらとことんまで付き合うしかないってことだもんな。
Fair enough. Guess you just have no chance but to fight them off if they manage to corner you.
お前ね、そこは逃げるって選択肢はねえの?
You know, running away is an option, right?
なんでとことんまで付き合うんだよ。
Why would I try and fight him?
だって逃げられないんじゃないのか。そういう場合って。
I thought running away isn't an option in those types of situations. Never mind. It's my fault for asking.
実際の話、俺も殺人犯は気にしてねえ。ああいうのはほら、天才だろ。出会っちまう方に運がない。
I'm not that worried about it. Getting caught by someone like that just means your luck's run out. What they call it on the news, an act of God or something.
俺が街に出ないのはもっと現実的な理由でさ。最近、北口駅前で新手のバカどもが湧いてんだよ。正直顔も見たくない。
I've got a real reason for not going out, though. A bunch of fools have been hanging around the north exit of the station. I really don't want to deal with them. Pain in the ass. The north exit, located on the opposite side of the station from the business district, is downtown Soya, a bustling hub that never sleeps. Arihiko lives on the north side of the station himself. These fools must be pretty bad if he's going to such lengths to avoid them. Know about it, Tono?
度胸試しのようなもの。秘密の入り口から地下道に入って奥までつければ大金が手に入るってやつ。
Some kind of weird dare. They say it'll come into a bunch of money if you enter the underground using a secret entrance and make it to the end. Sounds kind of fishy to me. You know what this kind of reminds me of? I haven't played much of it, but this also kind of reminds me of how the opening to Akiba Strip started. And that also involves vampires. Although it's about stripping male vampires. It's a weird game. I love it. But this kind of reminds me of how they do it. Like, there's a bunch of, like, weird dares and rumors and stuff in Japan. And I like how they, like, use that for games. It's like, some of it may be true. Some of it may be a trap. You don't know. It could be Persona. It won't be, but it could be. But it won't.
それなら私も聞いたことあるけど、それってただの怪談じゃなかった？
I've heard about that too. Isn't it just an urban legend? Japan really loves their urban legends.
ああ、結構昔からある都市伝説だったらしい。
Yeah, I hear it's been around for a while.
それを儲け話っぽく仕立てて利用してるバカどもがいるんだよ。どっから流れてきた新参者か知んねえが。おかげで北口の空気の悪さはシャレにならねえ。ちょっとしたことで殴り合いが始まるからな。
They got some idiots believing that this is their chance to get rich. No idea where that came from, but they're seriously killing the vibe. Doesn't take much to set them off, too.
俺、基本的に痛いの嫌だし、あんだけ派手にやってればポリも動くだろうし、連中が捕まるのでしばらく自重して家にこもってんのよ。
I don't want to get into it, you know? The cops should do something about them soon, so I'm just staying at my place until things blow over. Like they normally do. The cops will take care of it. Totally. An urban legend on the north side of the station. I guess I hadn't heard of it since I didn't live nearby. Though, I suppose it'll be my problem too, starting today.
なんだよ、反応薄いな。
Huh. What? Not exciting enough?
さてはあれか？朝から貧血でぶっ倒れたのか？
You gonna pass out again from that anemia thing?
いや、今朝はまだ大丈夫。
No, I feel okay today.
心配してくれるのはありがたいんだけどね。そう四六時中貧血を起こしてたら体が持たないよ。
I appreciate you worrying, but I'm pretty sure I'd be dead if I was anemic all the time.
まあ、そりゃもっともだ。遠野が大丈夫だって言うんなら、まあ大丈夫なんだろうよ。
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. If you say you're alright, I'm sure you're fine.
ほら、授業が始まるぞ。早く席に戻って寝ろ。
Class is about to start. You better get back to your seat.
はいよ。と、そうそう。今日の昼飯な、食堂でするからな。 驚きの特別ゲストをお呼びしているので楽しみにしてやがれ。
Okay, okay. Oh, by the way, I'll be eating in the cafeteria today. Got a very special guest coming. Look forward to it, alright? Hi. Arihiko laughs suspiciously as he saunters back to his seat. That boy's sus. He's the imposter. Talk to you later, Tono.
弓塚さんも付き合わせて悪かったね。
Oh, yeah. Sorry to drag you into this, Yumizuka. She walks back to her desk, her footsteps light as a feather. Five minutes after the bell for homeroom, and our teacher still hasn't appeared. Just as homeroom is about to end, the teacher next door drops by to tell us that Miss Toyama won't be coming today.
やったー、今日の数学自習じゃん。
Yes! No math class today! Someone sounds like they just won the lottery. Miss Toyama is our math teacher. With her absent, we'll have free study instead. Once you finish the worksheet you're given, you're free to spend the rest of the time however you want. Some use the time to study, but others just kill time. Hey, I know you're using this as an expression, but given the mystic eyes, you gotta be careful with what you say, Shiki. Someone could actually kill time, and that would be bad. Okay? I start on my worksheet. I actually have no problem with studying. I quit going to after-school lessons as a child, but that was after I was told getting into a good school would be impossible for someone with my condition. And as strange as this sounds, this is actually true in Japan. You see, one of the things that's expressed in a lot of Japanese media, be it anime, video games, stuff like that, is the problem of the Yankee. Because everyone is supposed to be learning together, but at the same time you need extremely good test scores and extremely good physical stats to be the best. If you're not like an outlier, if you're not the best, you might as well be worthless. And for someone with a disability, that would be really hard to get into school. So this is actually real in Japan. It's a problem. Great Teacher Onizuka is one of my favorite animes because it tackles this. Assassination Classroom also talks about this. There'd be a big problem in Japan's classrooms. Whether you choose to go to college or straight into the workforce, knowledge is never a bad thing to have. I raise my head after solving a few problems and look over to the students near the hallway. I can only hear bits and pieces of their conversations, sitting as far away from them as I am. So it's true. I don't believe it. This morning, I saw the teachers running to the faculty room, looking really freaked out. It's just a rumor. Could she have really... It's terrible. How could something like this... Something certainly feels wrong, I think, knitting my eyebrows. That murder last night. I saw two guys who looked like detectives go into the principal's office. I brace myself for what's coming. I think I have this figured out. She got murdered. As familiar as I am with this feeling, I find myself not wanting to accept it. I hold my breath in anticipation for the words to come. I heard Miss Toyama died last night. And I saw the little bit of the cracks there. That was really nice. I close my eyes, trying to hold back a headache. Alright, I'm just gonna check the flowchart. Is it still the same scene? But you know what? I need a break, I think. We'll end it at that, like, flash. We're gonna save the game. Okay. And with that, I know Phil wanted me to wait till the end of a scene. That's about as far as I can get today when it faded to black. There's some crazy stuff going on. Final thoughts so far, before we end it for today. People getting cut into pieces. Shiki, got some crazy eyes that can move things forward in time and kill things. We got a serial killer on the loose that might be a vampire. We have my favorite character in the game who's a delinquent. I love the nickname Trashko. There's some really great story building so far. I like CL. I like the characters. I like the atmosphere. I love the CGs. It's a pretty game. It's better than I expected it to be, and it has me gripped, because even when it gets to the funny stuff and the class stuff, there's this underlying menace behind everything. And whenever he gets a headache, you see the cracks and the seams. God, it's great. It's great. I'm loving this game so far. With that said, I'm Zenith, Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns. I need to rest. My eyes are starting to hurt. Who knows? Maybe I have eyes of bunny perception. Who knows? But until then, I am Zenith, Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll see you next time on Bun Plays, where we're trying to find out more ways that I can prove that Phil is a vampire.